Hello everyone, welcome to this YouTube channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. I am Kishore and today we are going to solve a sequences Sudoku created by Kumar. This Sudoku was created by Ashish for the patrons of his blog. I will add the link in the description, so do check out his Patreon page for more of his Sudokus. Now the rules of the Sudoku are, in addition to standard rules, there are some lines given in the grid. As you can see here, there are 5 lines in the grid. On each of the line, the difference between two successive digits will always be the same, and the difference cannot be 0. So for example, let's say you take this line, you cannot have 6, 6, 6 and 6. That means the difference will be 0, right? So you can't have that. Otherwise, you will have the difference between any two successive digits to be the same. So those are the rules. With that, we'll start solving this Sudoku. Now, before we proceed on to make some pencil marks, there are some general things that you can remember in a sequences Sudoku. When you have a line of length 5 like this in box 1 and like this in box 9, the digit 5 will always be in the line, right? Because you can't make a line of length 5, or rather a sequence of length 5, without the digit 5. And when the length of the line is of 5, the difference will either be 1 or 2. Because if you have the difference more than 2, then you will have the range of digits out of 1 to 9. So the difference will either be 1 or 2 when the length of the line is 5. So let's start the Sudoku now. So if you look at box 1, we have the 4 in row 1 column 1. So that means the sequence, if the common difference is 1, it will be 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, right? Let's just mark them. It is going to be 5, 6. I'll use a different color since the givens are in black. So it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, right? Or from this direction it will be 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, okay, when the difference is 1. Suppose if the difference is 2, the only possibility is 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So it will be starting from this direction, because 1 is here, you can't have the 1 here. So this is going to be a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7 or a 9. 9 is already there. So these are the only possible digits on those lines, right? And similarly, let's come to the other end of the line. This box 9, the difference is either going to be 1 or 2. If it is 1, because of the 6 here, it can only be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, or from this direction 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, okay? And now if the difference is 2, then it is going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 or 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9, right? So we have 1 here already. So this is a 3, this is a 5, this is a 7 and this is a 9. Or from this direction 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Yeah? Hope you are able to follow until here. So let's move on to the next biggest line. Okay, we have one more line of length 5. Let's focus on that now. I told you at the start that a line of length 5 will always have 5 in it, because otherwise you can't make a sequence. So that means we cannot have 5 in box 5. So 5 will be either here or here. Now when 5 is at the end of the line, you can have the sequence of length of common difference 1 only, no other difference is possible. So that means if you have the 5 here, so this is a 6, this is 7 and this is 8. Or from this direction, if you look, this will be a 6, this is going to be a 7 again, this is an 8 and this is a 9. This is the only possibility. In both ways we get a common digit here. So this is going to be our 7 and this will be a 5 and 9, right? Okay. Okay, the moment we mark a 5, 9 possibility here, what do we get? So I told you that this can either be 1 or 2, the common difference I mean. But if it's 2, then you will have the 1 here, a 3 here, a 5 here, a 7 here and 9 here. So a 5 and a 9 will come in row 3, column 3 and row 1, column 3. But what does that do to row 7, column 3? It removes all the possibilities from this cell. So that means the common difference can never be 2 in box 1. So we can remove that possibility now. 1, 3, 5 can be removed, right? Yeah, 5 can be removed, and this will be a 7 will be removed, and this will remove a 9. Or let's rather mark afresh. The common difference cannot be 2, so it has to be 1. So it has to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, so in both cases we get a digit here. This is going to be a 7. Now you have a 5, 9 pair, right? You have a 5, 9 pair here in row 3, and in column 3 too you have a 5, 9 pair. That's good. Now you can use the similar logic that we used to deduce that this is having a common difference of 1. Look at this 5, 9 here. Can you have a common difference of 2 in this line? So what happens if you start from here? 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So 5 and 9 if you put here, that will choke off all possibilities from row 7 column 3. So you cannot have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 in this direction. Now let's look at the other direction. Can you start with 1 in row 7 column 9? That gives you 3 here, a 5 here, a 7 here and a 9 here. Now 5 and 9 here or here. So what does that do to row 3 column 7? It removes both the possibilities. So that means you can't have a common difference of 2 as well in box 9. So it's going to be a common difference of 1, and it can only be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So both cases we get a common digit, that is going to be your 3. This is beautiful. So what do we do next? We can pencil mark the remaining possibilities in box 1. 1, 2 and 3 have to be marked. So this is 1 and 3 because of this 2. This is 1 and 2, and this is 1, 2 and 3. And similarly in box 9 you have 7, 8, 9 possibilities, right? Okay, now if you spot something here, if you have a 5 here, what does that do to the 5 on this line? You get a 5 here, right? When you have a 5 here, you can't have a 5 here, so you will have a 5 here, and that immediately removes the 5 from this cell to this cell, right? So, and if you look in the other direction, let's say you have a 5 here, so you remove the 5 from here, so you get the 5 here, and you remove the 5 from here and you get the 5 here. So we land up in a scenario where these 3 cells are 5 or these 3 cells are 5, right? I hope you are able to follow. I will repeat it once more for you. Suppose if you have a 5 in row 7 column 9, then you eliminate the 5 from row 7 column 3 and you get a 5 here, and that immediately gives you a 5 in this red cell. And similarly vice versa, if you have a 5 in row 9 column 7, you remove the 5 from row 3 column 7 and you get a 5 here, and that removes the 5 from row 1 column 3 and you get a 5 here. So all these must be 5s, all the green cells must be 5s, or all the red cells must be 5s. I hope you are able to follow until here. Now let's focus on the other 2 lines. I don't know when this information will be useful, but I think it will be useful at some point. So let's focus on the lines of length 4 now. This line and this line. You have a 5, 9 pair in row 3 and 4 and 7 here. So this is going to be a 1, 3, 6 or 8. 2 is not possible. But you can never have a 1 in the middle of the line. So this is going to be a 3, 6 or 8. Now can you have a 3 here? If you have a 3 here, then you must have some digit less than 3 in one direction and some digit more than 3 in the other direction. So let's assume this is a 3. If you have a 3 here, you can't have a common difference of 1 now, because 2 is going to remove the possibility. So you'll have a common difference of 2. So this will be your 1 now, and this is a 5 and this is a 7. Can you have this possibility? No, because when you have a 5 in row 2 column 7, you are eliminating the 5s from both the red cell and the green cell. So you can remove the 5 from here, because that will mean that both of these possibilities become false. So you cannot have a 3 in row 3 column 7. So this is going to be only 6 or 8. Now if you have an 8 here, then you must have something less than 8 in one direction and something greater than 8 in other direction. So you can't have something greater than 8 in this direction. So if you have an 8 here, so this will be your 9, this will be your 7, and this will be your 6. Is that leading to a contradiction? No, that is possible, perfectly possible. Suppose if you have a 6 here, the common difference can be 1 or 2, right? It cannot be a 3, because then 3, 6, 9 and 12, it will take the sequence out of the valid range. So with the 6 you will have either a common difference of 1 or common difference of 2. Let's think that the common difference is 1 for now. So if you have 6 here, you can have the 5 here or 5 here, right? Let us assume you have the 5 here. So 6, 5, this will be a 4, but that is not possible because of this 4, so you can remove the 5 from here. So when the common difference is 1, this will be a 5, this will be a 6, this will be a 7, and this will be an 8, right? Clear? Suppose if you have the 6 and common difference is 2 now, the only possible sequence is 2, 4, 6 and 8, right? But can you have that? No, because you have the 2 here. You can never have a common difference of 2 with the 6 in place. So this is the only possible digits that can come here. Now we get a common digit in row 2 column 7. So that will be a 7. And that gives us a 7 using classic rules in box 2, right? Okay, so along row 3 we can pencil mark the remaining digits. So this will be, we have 4, 5, 9 and 6, 7, 8 pencil mark neatly. So this will be a 1 or a 3, this will be 1, 2 and 3, and this will be 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so what happens if you have a 5 in row 4 column 9? I'll just go ahead and mark it for you. If you have a 5 here, I'll make a corner pencil mark and show you. If you have a 5 here, then you get a 6 here, right? You cannot have an 8. Then you have a 7 here and you get an 8 here. So because of this 8, you will get a 6 here, right? And now 7, 6 and this will be 5. Now let's take a step back and think. We have a 5 here and we have a 5 here. What does that do to box 9? It removes the possibility of 5 from here and here as well. So you cannot have a 5 here, right? Wow, that is an absolutely beautiful step, difficult to see. So this cell will be a 9 and that immediately gives an 8 here and a 6 here. And that gives an 8 here. Because of this 6 you will have an 8 here. You will have a 9 here, right? This will be a 6 and this will be a 5. And because of this 5 you get a 1 here, a 2 here, a 4 here, a 5 here. That is absolutely awesome. Such beautiful handcrafted Sudokus are very hard to create, and there is nothing more satisfying than finishing such Sudokus. Look at how beautifully the digits are getting placed now. Because of this 5, you get a 9 here, you get an 8 here, a 7 here, a 6 here and a 5 here. Amazing. Just one digit here and we have filled all the lines. And now because of this 8, you have an 8 here using classic rules. So this will be a 7 and a 9 and this will be a 7 and a 9. And you have 1 here using classic rule, you get a 3 here, you have 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here, right? And 8 is here, so in box 2 8 can only be here. And 3 in row 1 has only one place left now, which is going to be here. So this is 1 and 2. And remaining digits in row 1 are 1 and 5, but 5 is in column 7, so this is 5, this is 1. And this is going to be 4 and 6, but 6 is in column 9, this is 6, this is 4. Wow, that one digit alone is just, getting the other digits like fire. 2, 3, 4 and 9, 1, 6 and 8 are there, so 5 and 7 have to be filled in column 9. Because of this 5 you get a 5 here and a 7 here. And now 1, 3, 4 would have to be filled in these cells, so this will be a 3, 4. This will be a 1, 3 and this will be a 1, 3, 4. And 2, 6 and 8 have to be placed here. This is 2, 6. This is 2, 8 and this is 2, 6 and 8, right? Okay. Now we have not focused on this line at all. Let us focus a little bit on this line. It makes sense to focus on row 8 column 3 because 6 digits are already eliminated from that cell. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9 are not going to be there. So this can only be a 2, 4 or a 6. But even 4 is not possible. So this is going to be 2 or a 6. Can you have a 2 here? No, you can immediately eliminate 2 as a possibility, because then you will have a 1 here, because you need to have something less than 2 in one direction and greater than 2 in the other direction. So if you have a 2 here, you will have a 1 here, that will force a 3 here, but you have a 3 in box 7. So 2 is not possible in row 8 column 3. So this will be a 6. And the moment you get 6 here, you deduce that a common difference cannot be 1, because then that means this will be a 5 or this will be a 5, but both cannot be 5 because of these two 5s. So common difference would have to be 2, and this cell must be 8 now to satisfy the common difference of 2. So this is 4, this is 2, right? And because of this 2, you get a 2 here and a 1 here. And because of this 2 again, you get an 8 here and a 2 6 pair. Okay, along row 6, you need to fill 3, 4 and 9, right? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 and 8 are filled. So 3, 4 and 9 have to be filled. 3 and 4 are here. So this is a 9. So this is a 3 because of this 4. So this is a 4. 1, 3 pair. And now, okay, box 5 we can focus. 4, 7, 8, 3, 5, 6 are filled. 1, 2, 9 have to be filled. 9 is here. So this will be a 1 or a 2. This will be 1, 2, 9 and this will be 1, 2, 9. Okay, along column 3, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 have been placed. 2, 3, 4 are yet to be placed. 2 is in box 4. So along column 3, 2 has to be in row 9 column 3. And 3, 4 will be here, but 4 is here. So 4 is here, 3 is here, 3 is here, 1 is here. That gives a 2 here, a 1 here, a 2 here, and a 1 and 9 here. This is a fantastic Sudoku, guys. So because of this 2, you get a 2 here and a 6 here. And 5 and 7 have to be filled. So this is a 5, this is a 7. And now 6 and 8, 6 is here. So this is 6 and this is 8. Column 2 can be filled. 1 and 7 are to be filled. So this is 1, 7 and this is 1, 7, right? Now 8 and 9 have to be filled in that box. 8 is here. So 8 will be here in row 7 column 1 and 9 should be here. And that gives a 9 here, a 7 here, a 7 here, a 1 here. Yeah? And row 9, if you see, 1 and 4 are yet to be placed, but 1 is in column 5. So 1 is here, a 4 is here. And because of this one, you get a 1 here, a 9 here. And now 1, 2, 8, 4, 6 and 7 are filled in row 2. Right? 3, 5, 9 have to be filled, but 5 and 9 here or in column 6. So this is a 3. And along column 6, 2 and 7 have to be filled, but 2 is in row 7. So this is 2, this is 7. 6 and 9 are to be filled in row 7. So this, because of this 6, you get a 6 here and 9 here. And you can finish off box 2 now, right? And the left out digits are 3, 5 in box 8. You get a 5 here and a 3 here. Wow, that is an amazing Sudoku. The main step, if you see, which led the Sudoku to crumble, is when you found the digit that 5 cannot be here, the Sudoku just kept on moving. I hope you all guys enjoyed watching the video. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. We hope to make more such videos in the future. Hope to see you all soon.